Hello, hello. It is a holiday week. Summer is in full effect. Miss Sia, how are you doing down in Dallas? I hope your air conditioning's working.
Right? Yeah, it is not, uncomfortable at all, not at all.
What's the temperature? What's the temperature by you?
Oh my goodness gracious, it's gotta be pushing 100.
Oh my gosh.
It's 93 right now, so,
Oh, that's it?
yeah, it's gonna get warmer.
Not too bad.
Yeah.
Well, Chicago is the best place on earth for summer, so you're always more than welcome here. And while I chill out in the cool breeze, about 72 and sunny, why don't we get that intro started and we'll kick off today's show.
Awesome, my friend, let's go.
Oh, sorry. This is my
Dance,
favorite.
and
I get
dance.
so excited. It amps me up for the appeal. Oh, no, we can't steal that from Raquel. She's going to get mad at us now if we do that. You know that, right?
No, are you kidding? No, you kidding? She'd be like, "Everyone needs to dance and
And
dance."
dance.
So, shout
Yeah,
out
yeah,
Raquel.
but only that's not like that's not like her dancing. This is like more like our dancing. That's all.
I know, it's kinda like more like this. Yeah, that's true.
That's how you were hopping after Rick
Oh.
Springfield. But anyways, speaking about the past, we had such a great time last show with Reclaim 13 and Miss Jacqueline Saunders and learning all the great work that they are doing to empower youth. But today's guests are also doing some great work in the Chicagoland area in a different light to uplift some youth and some children that really need help at given times in their life. And so I know kids are, a big part of your life in many forms, Sia. So we're getting ready to meet Rich and Ari from Camp Kids Are Kids. But before we do, what are your thoughts as we get ready to talk to those guys?
You know, with all of our life experiences, there's nothing more powerful than the power of community and strength and love to support one another. So these families, unfortunately, it's a club you don't want to be part of, but if it's something where you're together and you can help each other through this, it's hard, no two ways about it, but what joy and what positivity you can bring to help families enjoy time, right? So I mean, like, I'm gonna cry because full disclosure, I
No,
lost my sister
you're,
to cancer. So like this means everything to me and under the sun. So shout out, love you guys. Thank you for all that you do.
Yeah, no, and this actually brings together several of my passions, right? I have kids of my own. I've worked with kids basically my entire career as a professional. But I also worked in recreation. And so to talk about camp in a light that is fun and promoting play and things of that sort, but also combined with healing and mental health is just something that I just can't wait for others to get to know about. So I haven't had enough of you, but I'm going to kick you backstage. And if you don't mind, let's bring on Rich Brunridge and Ari Stern from Can't Kids or Kids Chicago.
Awesome. Thank you guys. I really
See you soon.
appreciate you. And I'm out of here.
Adios. All right, we got to bring them on. Nobody wants to see just me. There's Rich. All right, and Kasi and Ari, how we doing, gentlemen and little lady? It is so nice to see the both of you. Ari, I'll say hello to you first. We've known each other for quite some time. Real quick, just introduce who you are and what it is you do for Camp Kids or Kids.
Of course. Thank you for having us on. My name's Ari. I am the board member for Camp Kids Are Kids Chicago, and I'm also the head chair for our Go for Gold fundraiser this year. I've been a part of the board for about a year now and seen what we do for this camp and the kids, and it's an incredible thing. And Rich has really done so much as executive director, and being able to watch the smile on these kids' faces when they go through everything it's incredible. And it's been an amazing time so far, and I'm excited for the future.
Yeah, no, listen, this is a great testament too, as well. As I said, you and I have known each other for quite some time. And, just the power of friendship and collaboration and working together and combining networks for good. And we'll talk a little bit more about that later. But Rich, I wanted to get to you. Rich, please, if you don't mind, most importantly, introduce that beautiful little lady with you and yourself as well.
Yes, hi. My name is Rich Brundage, and this is my daughter, Cassie, who is going to be going down for a nap soon, but she's still up, and so she's joining me for a guy who works from home. This is pretty much my life. Lots of
I love it.
Zoom calls and live streams with like, hey, so I got a kid, and thank you for letting me be present with her as she hopefully will fall asleep during this.
Yeah, no, tell us please yourself, right? You know, a little bit about who you are, your organization, all the good stuff that you're doing right now.
Yeah.
Besides being a dad.
Yes, yeah. So I've been a part of pediatric oncology camps, camps for children living with and beyond cancer since 1997. I got to cut my teeth on that with a camp that was run by the American Cancer Society back in New York, where I'm from, and got a chance to really explore the oncology camp scene with a number of other camps, thanks to COCA, the Children's Oncology Camping Association. And through that, I made a few friends that invited me to the first ever hotel urban-based camp in Chicago back in 2014. So I've been part of Camp Kids in Chicago since then, and I just got back, hence the is that a tired or sick voice? Nope, it's a lost my voice singing songs last week in Baltimore as we opened up our newest camp there. So yeah.
Yeah.
I get to
it's amazing. You know, amazing. We talked a little bit about the growth of Camp Kids Are Kids behind the scenes, but, you know, most importantly, let's talk about quickly, Rich, if you don't mind, exactly what it is you guys are built for. What is the mission, what you provide, who you serve? You know, let someone that may not know who you folks are, you know, give them that elevator pitch, if you will, please.
Yeah. So it's a camp for kids who have cancer, or I say living with and beyond cancer, because they don't necessarily need to be in treatment. They could have been out of treatment for a while. Some of these kids may not even remember their treatment, yet the long-term effects of that treatment, whether it's physically or emotionally or even mentally, go on for probably most of their lives. And it's also open for siblings. Our camp's a little unique because we're able to do patients and sibs at the same time, and we give them 2 different locations. So this year, the Palmer House will be our home for our patient campers, and the Drake will be our home for our sibling campers. I just got confirmation of that. So that week in August, which is the 5th to the 9th, our kiddos are going to be enjoying the real camp feels of doing all your normal camp activities, from arts and crafts to music and singing songs. We sing a whole lot of songs. And then going on excursions. So they spend like half the day doing this in the morning. We do lunch, we do cabin time, and then we go out and explore the city. So this year we have on the docket a trip to the museum. It's a mystery theme. So Riddle Me This is our theme. So we try to add some fun activities in there. We do a beach day in the middle of the week. So thanks to the Chicago Fire Department, they've been able to come out and be our lifeguards and allow our kiddos to kind of enjoy a day on the shore. And it ends on that Friday with a talent show and just an amazing display of both camps together at that. It's just camp. It's really just camp. Lots of songs. We even have s'mores.
I love it.
Location.
Now, wait a minute, Rich. I gotta ask. As you know, I've known Ari for quite some time, and to become a board member, do you have to be able to sing? Ari, what is your favorite camp song?
You know, I haven't had to sing yet, but you never know what's going to happen.
Thankfully, we're trying to raise money. We don't want to turn people away. But Rich, real quick, you know, that's a great explanation. As you know, I have a great affection for recreation. I worked in Parks and Rec for 10 years, and camp was always my jam for the most part. And, you know, knowing all the activities that you provide for children living with cancer, as you said, but talk a little bit about the safety precautions and the health risks and the efforts that you folks have to put forth to ensure that this is a safe environment and that the kids go home as healthy as possible.
Yeah, we have a full-fledged medical team on both the sibling and our patient side, and they review all the camper applications, make sure that our campers are eligible to come to camp. Of course, their doctors will also do their health forms and give the thumbs up. But our medical team calls, including our mental health specialists. So that's usually a child life specialist will reach out, touch base with the families. Both camp directors will reach out and touch base with the families to make sure these campers are ready for camp. But our medical team reviews everything, gets their MARs together, their medication administration records, make sure that there's nothing that they're not prepared for. And because we're in a city, and because we're so close to the hospitals, we're able to take campers that might need to leave midweek to go do treatment and get it at their hospital and come right back. So, or get labs done. They can leave camp and come back. It's kind of unique and special. I've been to camps where we're out an hour or plus away from the hospital. Here, you just go and come back. So our team is ready to roll, and because of our proximity, we were able to kind of reach more kiddos, and a lot of our families feel a lot more comfortable about that. So this is sometimes a way for our certain families to get used to sending their kids to camp. And there are other camps in the Chicagoland area. Most of them are a distance away, but there's day camp, there's overnight camps, and we're the one in the city that they go, let's try this first. And then, hey, here are 3 other camps that you should go do, because we want kids to enjoy camp all summer long if possible.
Amazing. I love it. All right, here's what I'm going to do for you, Rich, real quick. That beautiful daughter, Kasi, of yours, she looks to be asleep. If you'd like, you can go put her down, and yes, I'll ask Ari a few questions. If you could run right back, that would be awesome. But it was amazing meeting your beautiful little one. She's adorable. And Ari, yeah, Rich, please go put her down if you want to keep her, but please come on back. Ari, talk to us a little bit about how you became aware of Camp Kids Are Kids. You, as I said, and I have known each other for quite some time, and we met through some philanthropic work. You were a member of a different board quite some time ago that we worked together on some functions, and now you're putting all your attention here into Camp Kids Are Kids. So, talk a little bit about how you came aware and why you're volunteering and doing all the work you are for them.
Yeah. So I became aware, one of my good friends used to sit on the board. He was the one that actually ran this fundraiser. He sat on the board for multiple years, and I took over this year. He just had too much on his plate. And I got involved in just, kind of as you were saying, I went to camp my entire life. My dream one day is to own a summer camp. So as soon as I heard of what he was doing, I had to get involved. And so I sat on the board last year, and I helped him run the fundraiser last year, and I'm on all the board meetings and just see everything that they're doing. And I did want to give a shout out to the Drake and the Palmer House for what they do. I know Rich didn't really say it, but just so everyone understands, these hotels magically transform their rooms into bunk cabins. So they're not just hotel rooms. They transform them into basically like a bunk cabin for the kids, and the kids get to enjoy, just like any other camp. They do campfires, talent shows, arts and crafts, all sorts of games, and then they go to different attractions around the city. So it really is a true urban camp for these kids. And I was able to actually take my middle daughter last year to one of the events so she could meet the kids and so she could see what we were doing. And it was just so incredible to see how happy these kids were and how they're out of, their normal day-to-day life and at camp. And my son's at camp right now, and I just know that he's having a great time, and I can see it on these other kids' faces that they're having a great time as well. So I got involved last year, and I loved it. I loved the mission. I loved what they do. And unfortunately, my friend had to take a step down, and I decided to take over. And it's been amazing, and having you as a friend and helping out has been incredible too.
Yeah, well, thank you for that. And it's been a natural fit, right? Like you said, you were so fortunate to take your middle daughter to one of the activities and see the camaraderie and the happiness and excitement, and just, likely she takes away an appreciation for things herself a little bit differently. And one of the other things you and I both have in common is we both have, young children ourselves, and being dads as we are. And seeing the work that Camp Kids Are Kids does for kids living with cancer is so inspiring, because we're fortunate, right? Our kids are right now healthy as it may be, and seeing all the activities they're able to participate in as a parent is just so inspiring. But knowing that others are able to, regardless of their health, is just so uplifting, and knowing all the work that it puts is needed to make sure that happens. It could seem insurmountable, but the work that you're doing and Rich is doing is just so inspiring. So talk about the role of a board member.
Sure.
This is a great opportunity for somebody tuning in today to learn a little bit more about the other side of an organization and the volunteerism and the role you have, not only as the chair, which we'll talk about shortly here in a minute, but just your role as a board member.
Sure. So yeah, as a board member, it's kind of like we're running the camp as well. Obviously, Rich is the one that runs it, but we're talking weekly, monthly about raising money and about all the different things that happen with camp. So getting all the meals together. We get a lot of our meals donated for lunch, for breakfast, lunch, dinner. Activities on Rich didn't talk about this, but on Wednesday of the camp, which is the midweek, we have one big activity, and that's the one day that the siblings and the patients get to all meet together, and we do a big activity. The past couple of years, we did a boat cruise off of Navy Pier, like a dinner boat cruise, and it was incredible. We're looking at a couple different options this year, but that's a big night for the kids. They get to watch the fireworks and all be together with their siblings. And so as a board member, we're kind of just setting up camp, getting everything going, making sure that we have all the meals together for each time. And, just making sure that camp runs smoothly. Obviously, as I said before, Rich, as executive director, is in charge of the day-to-day, but we're helping out on the back end to make sure that everything's there that they need.
Yeah, exactly. And if I may, just to wrap it up, I think getting to know you as I have, and just to state what I believe a board member does and what I know you're so great at doing, essentially is leveraging your own network for the benefit of an organization that you believe so strongly in. Right.
Sure.
And you're one of the greater networks I've known of getting a group of people together to support a cause that you yourself believe in. And that's because you're such a good person yourself, Ari.
Thank you.
But getting to talking about bringing a group of people to support a mission in an organization you support, as you said, you are the chair of the Go for Gold event on September 7th. As you said, you took over for a friend of yours, but, talk a little bit more about that event, what it's intended for, obviously all the work that Camp Kids Are Kids and the camps in the four cities, and particularly Chicago, doesn't come free. So talk about this fundraiser, your role, the sponsors, all that good stuff. Let folks know how they can support Camp Kids Are Kids Chicago.
Absolutely. So the fundraiser we're doing is on Saturday, September 7th. We're doing a day party. It's from 11 to 3 o'clock p.m. It's at 28 Mile Distillery in Highwood. A great place. We've done it there the past couple of years. Amazing restaurant and party venue, I guess you could call it. We're actually this year, which we haven't done before, we're doing a family event. So in the past, it's been a nighttime fundraiser with adults only. This year, we decided to flip it around and do it for kids, especially because we are doing it for Camp for Kids. We're going to have all types of games and events and food and beverage. We're going to have music. We're going to have everything. It's going to be an amazing, incredible time. It's something to do on a Saturday with your kiddos. Obviously, you could come as just adults as well. And we have a couple different options. So Banner Plumbing is our our presenting sponsor. They've been kind enough to get involved, and they're really excited to do that. So shout out to them. We'll get them involved as well more as we go. But it's going to be a great event, and we have a couple different options if people are looking to donate or to sponsor. One of our main sponsorships is sending kids to camp. So it costs around $2,500 a kid. So we're looking, for anybody to send kids to camp. But going back to the event, it's going to be incredible, a lot of fun. We have a lot of good surprises. And again, Chris, having you has just been amazing. And I think we're going to do really well together and make it a lot of fun for the families and the kids.
Yeah, no, thank you for that. And it's been an honor to work with you in all the capacities which we have, but most importantly on this event. And, part of what you said that's been really exciting to see. And as I said earlier, while I'm not a board member, but leveraging our networks to support a cause and an organization we both support in Camp Kids Are Kids and Banner Kitchen and Bath Showroom. And my good friend Gene Hara, who I introduced you to, was so kind and quick to support this event and support Camp Kids Are Kids Chicago. And that's really what it takes to uplift an organization that does such good, is really finding resources, leveraging your network, taking an opportunity for promotion of organizations and businesses, but to promote a good cause and organizations that are doing great in the world. And, having a presenting sponsor like them is just so integral to having an event like this. And we can't thank them enough. And talk a little bit about, the relationship that you are having with some of your other vendors. Like you said, 28 Mile is so kind to host the event, and I've done others functions there as well. And it's a beautiful space. But, talk a little bit about what's going to be there for adults as well, because you did say it's a day party, a darty as we're calling it. But there's options for kids, but talk about if there's just a couple that wants to come support the event.
Sure.
As adults, what will be there for them as well.
So yeah, for adults, there's obviously going to be, as much food as you want, alcoholic beverages, regular beverages. And there's going to be some really good auction items as well. We're looking at doing a silent auction as well as a live auction. And Chris, from what you told me, we're going to do a paddle race. But the auctions are going to be really good. I think there's going to be a lot of stuff for adults to choose from, between trips and signed jerseys and just a lot of fun stuff. But yeah, I mean, for adults, music, food, drinks, and we're hopefully going to have a few of the campers there that are going to speak. So you'll be able to meet the campers as well and really hear from them about what we do.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a great time. I'm so excited to work an event in the middle of the day and, have a darty, if you will, and really have an experience that I could bring my kids to, right? It's not often that I could bring my own children to an event and they could see me do what it is I do now in terms of being an auctioneer and supporting good causes. And so I'm so excited to bring them as well. And I just hope they don't spend too much of my money on some of the auction items. But if they do, that's okay, because it's going to a good cause.
That was kind of the whole point too. We when we ask people to come to fundraisers, especially families with kids, a lot of the time it's at night and you have to come just adults, which means you have to get a babysitter and all that. And we decided, why not make it with the whole family, right? You don't have to get a babysitter. You're going to do something on a Saturday during the day anyways, and why not come and support these kids? And you can also show your kids how important it is to support organizations like Camp Kids Are Kids.
Yeah, that to me is what has stood out the most about what you said earlier, taking your daughter, me being able to take Josephine and Lucas to the event and learn about organizations like Camp Kids Are Kids and really understand and appreciate what it is they have, right? As I said, our kids are fairly healthy. And as they grow up, we're trying as fathers to teach them an appreciation for all things, but health being maybe the most important of all, and seeing some other children of their age who don't have that luxury, but then how to support and uplift them and use our resources as a community to do good in the world is just so important. And obviously he's back, Rich. That beautiful daughter of yours seems to be down. And as you being a father yourself, we were just talking briefly about bringing our children and the luxury we have as Ari and I as young fathers of bringing our kids to the event on September 7th, the Goal for Gold event. And we'll talk why it's called Goal for Gold. But I would love to hear how you as a father as well, your perspective of this entire experience of being the executive director of Camp Kids Are Kids has shaped who you are today.
I'm a new dad. She's 6.5 months old. So I've been living this camp life for nearly 20 years. And I've always considered our campers like my other family. In fact, we kind of call camp like home, and have a camp family, and it's ever growing and it's amazing. As a parent now, I still have nothing to compare to what our families go through when they're going through the cancer diagnosis. All I know is that we're able to give them a little bit of respite and give those kids, and I've seen it so many years, year after year after year, give those kids a chance just to kind of be kids again for a week, where our medical team's taking care of the medical aspect, our counselors and our child life team and we're working on just kind of giving them that real kid experience as much as possible, as much as safely as possible. And we sometimes send them back home and they're like, yeah, my son or daughter doesn't do that. I'm like, well, they did it here this week. you know. They didn't really use that crutch as much as you said they would, or they definitely, you know, climbed the wall, even though you said they probably couldn't. You know, we were safe and we did it. It's pretty amazing what camp offers kiddos just to be a kid for a week and give the parents a bit of respite. You know, we've even been able to do, thanks to the Hilton Hotel, a caregiver night out, so they get a night the last 2 years to kind of just chill at the hotel, a different hotel from where we're at, and go see a play and have a date night. Which honestly, whether it's just because of time or fiscal reasons, or just because they've only known the oncology world for the last 10, 8, 5, whatever years it's been, they usually haven't gotten that opportunity. So yeah, camp's kind of a really amazing, special place. And I don't know how to, I don't have that relation. All I know is that I like camp. I like to have fun. I'm here to give the kids a fun time and give our families a break.
Yeah, no, I love that perspective as well. We haven't touched on that, but you know, I assume your daughter is healthy. We didn't talk backstage. I hope she is.
Yes.
And as you know, Ari and my children go, you know, we're very fortunate as fathers, and we know how hard it is to get a break with healthy children. And there's single mothers and single fathers in this chat who are, you know, just tuning in and saying the same thing, Raquel, right? Like, it's hard enough as a parent to get time away, but when your child is ill or your child has a diagnosis that is so concerning that you don't want to leave your child's side, or that there's health considerations that you can't, as an adult, you need that time away. And just a respite, as you called it, that you're providing in that camp alone is so beneficial to the family unit, not just to the child participant. So thank you for all of that. But that said, you know, quickly, Rich, before we start to sign off here, all the work you do, as we said, doesn't come free, right? And events like the Go for Gold fundraiser on September 7th are so integral in supporting your mission. So talk briefly about the fiscal responsibilities that are incumbent upon your organization to do all it is you do, and why and why fundraisers and events like the Go for Gold event are so important.
Yes, we say it's about an average of $2,500 to send a kid to camp, and we are going to be probably hitting our limit of 60 kids at camp this year. 30 patients, 30 siblings is what we can fit right now at both of our hotels. So it is not cheap. It is not cheap because where we are, but thankfully we've gotten a lot of good support from our hotel friends and from major donors and our board members who are also asked to give. So thankfully, Ari is doing a big job of helping us with this event coming up. And yes, you can sponsor. He has there's sponsorships on our website. You can just outright donate. You can give to our wish list on Amazon. There's many different ways everyone can give. And for those of you that like, how can I also be a part of camp? How can I join in the fun? Ari came last year with some of his peeps to show them what camp looks like during our carnival. So for those that want to give, like physically give, we do a COVID test before you get there, and all that fun stuff. And actually, you don't show up sick, but you can actually be a part of the camp action because we're always looking for a couple of extra hands here or there. So many different ways to give. Monetarily, we would love that because it's not cheap. Yes, but and we've done a lot to bring the most bang to the buck for our campers. So the more you can give, the more we can do for them.
Yeah, I love it. And please, as you see, scan that QR code. It'll take you directly to the website. You can find out all the information on Camp Kids Are Kids Chicago and the different ways to support their amazing, amazing organization and their mission. And you touched on it, Rich. We have not yet had on the appeal a tandem executive director board member, right? And I think this is so important to highlight the relationship, the healthy relationship it takes to have to run an organization, because as Ari said, as you were putting your beautiful daughter down for her nap, you're just one person as the executive director, and your network only expands so far. You can only do so many things in a day. You can only have so much attention focused being a young dad as you are, right? So talk about the relationship really quickly that it takes to run an organization like yours with somebody like Ari, who's a volunteer board member.
Yes, our board is a mix of a lot of folks from the Chicagoland area that are connected to the community. And thanks to people like Ari who are willing to make those connections to bring people in for big fundraisers, we're able to also reach out and find food donors, because we're always looking for, meals so we can feed our kids and our staff. We look for activity places that we can go, like the museum. We look for simple things like where we're going to have our dance this year, since we're not fiscally wasn't fit in the budget this year to do it back on the boat. So we're looking for a new place. And Ari's really stepped up, being as connected as he is, and a lot of our board members are doing their part to step up. And for those of you that are like, how else can I help? Please, send us your connections, send us your ideas. Come join our team. You can interview to be a part of our board if you want to really give in that sense, or you can interview to be a part of our team at camp if you want to give back during the week of camp, or you can just donate online. Come to the fundraiser. So there's a lot. Our board members are asked a lot of them, and they're able to give, but we can always use more connections so we can, again, do more for our kids.
Love it. Rich, the one thing I will say is you forgot to highlight the biggest, benefit of all of working on the board, and that's getting to work with Ari. And, Ari, as I said, I've gotten to know you for the last few years, and being a board member as you are for Camp Kids or Kids Chicago doesn't surprise me, because that's who you are as a person and who I've always known you to be. Very giving, very, welcoming and all those things, but very supportive of organizations. And so talk about your perspective as a board member, what it's taken to support somebody like Rich, and the work he has to put in to support an organization and a mission that you believe in.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's not the easiest thing in the world to try to find places, not to work with Rich, but to try to find places.
Hey, oh my gosh, you just threw him under the bus on live podcasting.
Rich is great. What I'm trying to say is, trying to find restaurants, for example, that are willing to donate for lunches or dinners or breakfast. So you really do have to tap into your connections for that. But I think once you start talking about it and you're able to show them what the camp is, they're more than willing to. But, I think it's been helping Rich out a lot. As you said, Chris, as Rich said, he's only one person, right? So he's doing all the day-to-day. He really relies on us to help out with that. But he's involved in every aspect. He's the easiest guy to get a hold of. If we need anything, if I have an idea, I run it by him. And during this whole planning for the fundraiser, obviously I've only been on the board for a year, but Rich put his trust in me to really just take it over. There was no saying no to anything. He was just happy with everything we've done. As soon as I told him about you, Chris, he was very excited about that. Just knowing that we're really pushing this, and him believing that what we're doing is really going to help the camp a lot. But it's been great working with Rich so far, and he does a great job. I saw him in live action, as he said, at the carnival event that I went to last year, as well as the boat cruise that I took my daughter on. And he introduced me right away to all the campers in front of everybody and my daughter. It was great. But it has been a tremendous time working with Rich and seeing what we can do together, and hopefully everything we can do in the future.
Yeah, no, I love it. Just the relationship that it takes between, the two responsibilities and roles you guys have to really make a camp thrive as Camp Kids or Kids in the Chicagoland area has, is just so inspiring. So I can't thank the two of you enough. And as it is for me, being able to support the Go for Gold event, Ari, we're calling it Go for Gold, the Summer Olympics. We're going to attribute it to that. We're going to try to win the gold medal for the most money raised in the history of Camp Kids or Kids. But I just can't thank you two enough for trusting me to be, your partner in fundraising, your auctioneer for the day of, helping find sponsors as we did together, Ari and Rich. Like, it's been just so fun. And as you guys both know, I have a strong affection for recreation and camp myself. And so I consider myself a part of your team as well. And just knowing all the great work you guys are doing makes me feel very happy. So thank you. But before we sign off, Ari, I want you one more time, let people know where they can connect with you. A little bit more about the event, if you want to say one last thing, and sure. We'll get about our day.
Sure. Connect with me through email, through LinkedIn. I've sent out a few emails with directions on how to purchase tickets, how to donate. That should also be in this. And yeah, it's Saturday, September 7th, 11 to 3 at 28 Mile Distillery in Highwood. Looking forward to seeing everybody there.
Yeah, and thanks again to Banner Kitchen and Bath Showroom, our presenting sponsor for the event. And Rich, one more time, thank you for all the work you do. If there isn't what we call proof in the pudding about your passion for camp, it's your voice, right? You talked a lot about losing your voice today and singing the camp songs as you did in Baltimore, I think it was. But
Yes.
please, one last time, where can people connect with you? How can they support you? Anything you want to tell folks about Camp Kids or Kids, you have your shot.
Yes, definitely go to the website. It's being updated constantly. So even the links that Ari sent out already will be on our website. We'll have a landing page there for the upcoming event. There's info at campkidskids.org. Will get directly to me. The phone number that's on there will come directly to me. So you can send me messages there. I'm, as Ari said, quick and easy to get on the phone unless I'm in the middle of running a camp. And then I'll get back to you the following day after camp is done. Yet it's an amazing place. And I want to point out the Gold for Gold is also the gold ribbon, which is the symbol for pediatric oncology awareness. So kids cancer, gold ribbon, and September is Pediatric Oncology Cancer Awareness Month. So perfect month for this fundraiser. It's the month right after camp. So we'll have plenty of stories to share, and hopefully campers will be there to share their adventures and pictures as well. So keep posted on social, on all our handles, and you can see what we're doing, what we're planning. And then during the week of camp, check out all the fun madness that we get to plan.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. But, the fact that that number goes directly to you, people should be respectful. You have a young daughter that's napping at various times and you need sleep yourself. So Rich, we'll let you get back to that. But before we sign off, you guys should both know we have a great support system here on the Appeal and a great sponsor of our show. So really quickly, Sia, if you could run that ad and then we'll sign off here, guys. So stick around for 30 seconds. Thanks.
Great.
Falling asleep with your head in the wrong position is a pain in the neck. You deserve Tausi Comfort for head, neck, and back support. Go to tausibrands.com and get your comfort on.
I do get my comfort on most days with my Tausi, but they're a great support system and sponsor of this show and Hail Hail Auctions and all it is that I do. And as a matter of fact, they provide great options for silent auction items and things of that sort. So if you're looking for various unique outside the box items, please look at Tausi Brands and Janice Shokran. She's a great friend of mine and I highly recommend her product. Gentlemen, I just can't thank you enough for allowing me to highlight who you each are as individuals, all the work you do together, Camp Kids or Kids, all the amazing work it is that goes into uplifting kids living with cancer and their family members. If you want to get a hold of me, Chris with Hail Hail Auctions, I'm on LinkedIn. We have our website, hailhailauctions.com. The socials are all there. You can find all the partnerships we've created with great organizations like Camp Kids or Kids, and I'd love a way to find an option and an opportunity to support your great organization, so please reach out. Gentlemen, it's been an honor. Thank you so much for all the work you do. Ari and Rich, I can't wait to get to hang out with you guys September 7th. And for those that haven't yet, please buy your ticket. 28 Mile, Banner Kitchen and Bath, our presenting sponsor. It's going to be a whole hell lot of fun. September, Children's Oncology Cancer Awareness Month. I hope I said that right, Rich. But guys, rock on. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a great rest of your day and have a safe 4th of July holiday.
Thanks for having us on, Chris. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
Take care.
Thank you.